Hello, cookies. Welcome to another episode of Cooking with Denny. Today we're going to be making a nice soup. Although it's hot outside, you probably are not in the mood for soup, but soup is always a good idea, you know? So it's a pozole, and it's a Mexican soup. It's made mostly with hominy, which are like the big corn, and pork. So it's really, really delicious, and chili powder, and at the end you're gonna add your vegetables, and they're raw. So you put your cabbage and radish and cilantro in your bowl first, and then you put your warm soup on top of that, and when you eat it, it's like a big mother's hug. So come on, let's do it. Let's make pozole. So what we're gonna do first is we have our big pot. And we're gonna just put our meat in the pan. That's easy enough. Right. Then we're gonna put some water in there on it. And we're just gonna cover the meat. Enough water to cover, and then maybe I'll show you exactly about how much, because it's going to be enough to cover, but then again we're making soup, so maybe about 3 inches over. Inches, yeah, inches are good, because we're going to add some onion and things to the water as well, and we don't want it to all cook away. Now, personally, I would like to rinse this, because look how it kind of gets cloudy. It's weird. So I'm going to rinse that. I'm going to put more water again, because I didn't really like the way that looked all filmy. You know, because I am a meat washer. So in that debate, I say wash your meat. So let's do it again. Yeah, now it's a little clearer, so I'll let you see how that is. That's much more clear. All right, so again, you're just gonna fill that to cover, and then maybe about, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches above, because again, the pork is going to flavor this water. All right, so that's about how full it is. Can you see that? Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and put in some salt. A generous amount of salt. And of course some accent. Accent is also a tenderizer, a meat tenderizer. My brother told me that the other day. So, it's like, thank you. So I guess I knew it, but maybe I didn't. All right. Gonna also add some onion and some garlic to the water, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut that up. I'm gonna use a yellow onion and some garlic. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut that up, and then we'll put it in the pan. All right, now we're gonna just cut our onion. So it's a rough chop, because it's going to all boil down, so you don't have to cut it where it's just perfect. Okay, so I like to rinse off the because there's dirt here where the onion was in the ground, and in fertilizer, and we all know what fertilizer is, so I like to kind of rinse that off if I see it. So I'm going to cut the end off. That in, and then this in. All right. I'm going to take off that first layer. Just peel that right off. And then I'm just gonna cut it big pieces so that it won't break down too much in the water with the pork, right? So you see how I cut that? I'll do that on this end. Cut that in, and that in, and peel off that first layer. All right, and cut that in 4, and then 1 down the middle. There you go. It's your onion. All right. So now we'll cut our garlic. So peel some of that off, some of that skin. And I love a lot of garlic, so I'm gonna put about, that was a lot of water, so we can put at least 6 cloves. That won't hurt anybody, right? All right, so, and we just get the skin off by pounding that. All right, so, and then that peels right off. So you got it, right? Very impressive. I like to cut off this little end part, but I know when they're cooking in restaurants with lots and lots and lots of garlic, nobody got time to cut that little end off, but it's just, at home, I always cut it off. It's kind of the way we'll clean our crab to death at home, but then go somewhere else and be sucking all on it, and we know they didn't clean it like we did. Got hair on it and all kind of things, but that won't happen here in my kitchen. So, see, there you go. Alright, so there you have your onion chopped and your garlic smashed. Alright, and that was 5 cloves of garlic, but you can do as many as you want. This is one of those recipes where I kind of just, I don't have a recipe, I just kind of wing it. It was something my mother used to make, and so I just kind of put things together. But that it was 1 onion and 5 cloves of garlic. We're going to put that over in our pot. Let's see, can you see that? Yeah, hold on. All right, so also to this pot, we're going to add the chili powder. And what you use is a combination of chili powder. So there is a New Mexico chili powder and a California chili powder, right? So let me show you those. So this one is the New Mexico, and this is the California chili powder, and they're both chili powders. So put that whole container in there. This is a red based soup. I think they also have green pozole, but I've never made it, but I know they have it. Just kind of pour that in its entirety. And you would think that this would be spicy, but it's not. It really does have a really nice flavor, but it's not a spicy flavor. It's a smoky flavor, I guess, because of the chili powder. It kind of makes it smoky tasting. Put that in there. Now it's 2 full packages of the large package. Well, I guess it would be the medium package, because I think they have a real big one too, but this is the medium size. All right. And then we're going to stir that up. So about Get that all off the sides. So you let that cook for about an hour, hour and a half until your meat is tender. So you kind of just keep coming by checking on it. But it's gonna be good, y'all. It's gonna be good. Go ahead and put the top on that. And we'll cook that for about an hour and a half to 2. So now we're going to chop all the condiments that go into the soup later once it's done. So we start with our cabbage. Have a nice head of cabbage. And we're gonna go ahead and cut that in half. And I don't need the whole thing, so I'm just gonna use a half because it's just me and I don't need that much. So put that there. Then we're gonna cut the core out that way and that way. Yeah, that comes out easily. Now I'm gonna cut it in half and I'm gonna wash it, rinse it. So a little bit of water on it, open it up a little, let it get in those leaves. All right, so that's that. And take it. So these are gonna be like bite-sized pieces because we're gonna, like I said, put it in your soup later. So I like it kind of alright, and then we're gonna just chop it. Bite-sized pieces that would easily fit on a spoon, right? This cutting board needs to be sturdier, but I'll show you how to do that in a minute. So refreshing, the warm soup on top of the crunchy vegetables. Just deliciousness. Put that in your bowl. Right. Like I said, we need to sturdy this cutting board, so what we'll do, get a few paper towels, you wet them.
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
Oh. Did anybody say her name? Did I say, you know what? A-L-E-X-A? No, I didn't. But she just pipes in whenever she feels like it. I don't know. So put that down and put your cutting board on top. That way it doesn't move around as much. Okay. So that's your cabbage. All right, so we're back. So now we're gonna be cutting our green onions. So I washed them and I cut the tops off. And so we're just gonna chop them in like small bite-sized pieces to put inside with the cabbage, right? So I'm not gonna, cut them all for you because I think you get the gist of how to cut a green onion. But I'll just cut it a little bit so you can kind of see how the width that you want it, because you don't want people to put a big old piece of onion in their mouth, right? You want it to be a nice, yummy piece, all right? So you see how I did that? We're gonna use the ends too, but I'm just showing you this part first, all right? So you're gonna go ahead and put that inside with your cabbage. All right. All right, so next we have some cilantro that I washed already, and it's nice to put a paper towel around it because it drains it by itself. So you don't have to go shaking all the leaves off into your sink because the paper towel is going to catch all that water. So then I like to leave this little thing on that they put at the store because it kind of holds it together until I get to it so it doesn't fall all over the place. So chop that a little bit. Right? All right, you got it? So we're gonna go the other way on that. Chop that up. All right. Does that look good? What you think? All right. I'll put that in too. So this is your mixture that you're gonna put in your bowl before you put your warm soup on top. Mmm. Okay. Now we just have these jalapenos and we have radishes. Oops, what was that? Was that a radish? Oh well, one got away. But anyway, okay, so I'm gonna come back and we're gonna cut the jalapenos. All right. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and add the hominy. And I like to wipe the top off because you never know where this can be. So anyway, I don't really like hominy. I'm not a big hominy person, but the recipe does call for it. So I like to go ahead and put 1 can in there, and then I take the juice from another can because the juice does give it a really nice flavor. So see how that can top went down in there? Now if it was dirty, it would be all in your food. So you want to make sure you wipe those. All right, so we're gonna come over here to the stove. Oh wait, okay, okay, here we go. Come on. All right, here we go. So what we're gonna do, see how our meat has got a little tender, and see how that chili has cooked down? You see that? You like that. All right, so we're gonna get close so it doesn't splash on you and pour that in. You see that, hominy? So you could do the yellow or the white. It doesn't matter. So we did white. I just got this one because it said Mexican style, and since we're making a Mexican soup, we should probably have Mexican hominy. I think. So let's put that back on the burner. You see? So we got one more can. Wipe it off. We're gonna come over here and open it. So this one, like I said before, we're just gonna put the juice in this one because I don't love hominy. It's not my favorite. All right. So get close. Pour that in. So that's all adding to your broth, right? So it'll be really good and flavorful. Okay, so I'm gonna throw that away. All right, so now we're gonna go back, cut some more vegetables, and let this cook a little bit longer. All right, so let's add the corn. So I'm gonna just add the whole thing, juice and all. All right, more corn. All right, let's stir that up a little. Can you see all that goodness? Look at that. Let's add some meat. So the meat is getting really nice and tender. We want it to just be kind of falling off the bone. Can you see that? Yeah. All right, so it's really a simple soup. It doesn't have a lot of ingredients and bells and whistles, but it's really very comforting. All right. Okay, so now we're gonna cut our radishes. So you're just gonna cut off the top part that was connected, and then you're gonna cut off the end. And we're just gonna cut them in circles. And they don't have to be too thin because you kind of want them to float to the top of your soup. I used to cut them in real diced, but I don't like to do that anymore because it takes too much time. So now we're just gonna see that, how easy that was? We'll do one more. So again, you just want to, not too thin. Oh shoot. Did y'all hear that motorcycle? I don't know. I heard it. So then we're going to put that in. Okay, so now we're going to cut our 1 jalapeno. And depending on if you want it to be spicy or not, I don't want it to be spicy. So I'm going to take all the seeds out and all the veins or membranes or whatever you want to call them. But see how I'm cutting that all out? Because that's where the heat is. Otherwise, it just tastes kind of like a strong bell pepper without the seeds. So see how we're taking that out? All that's gone. Cut all that out. So we're gonna cut that in kind of big slices, right? So that way, if people don't want that, it'll be big enough for them to pick it out, right? So we got that going, right? So I don't know why the knife does that sometimes, but see, that's nice big pieces, right? And put that in. What we're gonna do next is squeeze a little lime over all of this, right? So take your lime and cut that in half. And then we have one of those handy dandy lime doohickeys. Let me show you. Wow, pow, see that? So that's gonna juice your lime. Put that in, and then just squeeze it over. Like magic. All right, do one more. Squeeze it over. This has all your goodness in there. See that? So then we're gonna just toss that, and that's gonna be what you use to put into your soup when it's time. All right. All right, so now we're going to put the soup together. It's ready. So we're gonna put the, you put your mixture, all of your cabbage and your cilantro and your radishes and green onion. Put that in your bowl first. And then you take your soup, all of its meaty goodness. Okay. Now you get some juice going. All right, a little more juice. There you go. And that's it. That's pozole. So you eat that with your corn tortillas, a little splash of lime. Just like Mama used to make. Now, let's taste it and see what all the hype is about. Let's see, can you see me? Hi, y'all. All right, so let's see. Yep, tastes like your mama hugged you. That's what it tastes. What? All right, y'all. So now you know how to make pozole. Thank you for tuning in to another fantabulous episode of Cooking with Denny. Just remember, it's always delicious when you're cooking with Denny. Have a good night. Bye.